So there's been like a lot of talk recently that the AI bubble is going to pop. So what even is the AI bubble and what's going to happen to the industry if it does pop? So just start off with what even is the AI bubble? So it's basically how much people think the industry is valued versus what it's actually valued at. And basically, like right now, we think that AI is crazy and that it's like the biggest thing, it's going to be the next big thing. However, it might not be, but because we think of that, we're pouring money into investment subscriptions and everything, and every tech company is just jumping on AI. We think it's up here when in reality it might be down here. But then when we actually realize what AI is and what it's actually worth, investors might start to pull out because they overestimated the value and they realize that they're not going to get the returns of the money that they thought. And that's when the bubble collapses. But I'll get into more of what happens when the bubble collapses later in the video. And then basically the reason why people think it's going to pop right now is just because AI companies really aren't making a profit right now. And they're getting into tons of debt. Like even OpenAI, which is like the biggest AI centered company right now, it's also really cost heavy and not efficient to run these data centers that all these AI models have to run on. And those just kind of suck, to be honest, for like efficiency, cooling, and the environment. I'm sure you've heard a message to ChatGPT costs like a bottle of water. Basically, in simple terms, the AI bubble is just basically what people are valuing the industry as versus what it's actually valued as. They're overestimating it. That's what the AI bubble is. So now what happens when the AI bubble pops, or if it pops actually? Well, all the stocks in these companies would just come crashing down and they'd lose millions, billions, and trillions of dollars. And all these investors who thought that they were making money would actually lose money because they overestimated how much this industry was worth. Also, a bunch of people who work for these AI companies, like mainly OpenAI and stuff, would get laid off. So there would be a lot of unemployment. And tech companies like, Apple or Samsung or Google, they'd probably start moving away from AI. So instead of Apple obsessing over Apple Intelligence, they would probably just stop doing that and they'd just go into like more efficient things that are like other than AI. However, if your company isn't fully centered around AI, but it uses AI as part of its business, like for instance, Google or Microsoft, they wouldn't crash mainly just because their company isn't fully centered around AI. For instance, Google is a search engine and an ad company, and Microsoft makes the Windows um, operating system and it makes Surface laptops. So they would probably just stop making more AI features or maybe even remove AI features entirely. Though I don't know fully if they would, but they might just to save on cost. But for instance, OpenAI, they would just be fried. But yeah, that's basically it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.